Right then guys, welcome back to another gameplay video. This one is Counter-Strike Global Offense for the PlayStation 3. Move compatible as well, as you can see. Now also the interesting thing for this is that you can use a mouse and a keyboard, and as far as I'm aware, certainly that I've ever experienced, that's pretty unique for a PlayStation 3. And if I'm honest, I'm definitely curious to try that out. You know, see what the mouse and the keyboard is like on the PS3, so yeah, I'm not going to rule that one out. Maybe that's one for the future. But until then, I'm just using a standard controller. So anyway, the gameplay. Yeah, now, obviously, I'm not using a HD capture card. So, you know, your eyes may have a little bit of a nightmare for the next 15 or so minutes. But I think it comes out alright, bearing in mind it's not HD. So I saw this game anyway on a whim the other day. I didn't even know it was out. I was just browsing the online PlayStation Store. I guess I had some money burning in my virtual wallet. And I thought, well, let's just buy a game, because I've not bought one for a while. Not even a used game, actually. I haven't even bought one of them for a while. So, or at least not on the PlayStation 3. So I thought, yeah, I'll give this a try. I looked at a couple of reviews. It seemed to be going down quite well. You know, people quite liked it. And I thought, well, let's go for it. Why not? So here it is. This first gameplay is called Arms Race. Basically, it's you and you've got some computer-controlled teammates. You've got to kill the enemy. Wait and see, this guy steals my kill. There we go. Unbelievable. I do all the work and he unloads one bullet into him and he gets a kill. But yeah, it's the first one basically to get to 26 kills. But the unique thing here is after each kill, you upgrade to a new weapon. Now, you don't have a choice as to what weapon you upgrade to. It automatically does it for you. You know, the next one in line. In theory, what it is doing, or should be doing, is making the more powerful weapons available as each kill progresses. Although with that said, you do have to finish with the knife, and that is absolutely bloody useless. And you'll see that, I think, on this gameplay, or maybe it was another one. Well, we'll soon find out. But anyway, we've kind of progressed to the shotgun here. Look at that, I line it up, and as soon as I do, the buggers move. But I get the pair of them there. On 8 already, so this is pretty rapid considering. As soon as I say that, you know, screw up. So, yeah, now this is on the easy level. You may have saw that when I was selecting the options. You can choose, obviously, easy, medium, hard. I think the next one is very hard. You can have them as harmless, and I think on harmless, anyway, they are present, but they literally don't shoot. So they're useless. But, look at that, by the way, I pressed the menu button by mistake and I still got him. Skills. But, what was I saying? Yeah, there's the harmless ones. They don't move around, but I guess it's useful for maybe practicing your aiming and all that kind of stuff. And then there's another option of not having them on at all. I guess that's completely useless unless you just want to familiarise yourself with the maps. It makes me laugh actually, because there is one particular trophy on this level, or for this game type I should say, Arms Race, and it's really hard to get. And basically what you've got to do is finish the game, so go 26 kills without any deaths. And I can't even imagine how that's possible on the hard level, because this is on the easy level. Not the easiest, but easy level. And I just can't do it. I usually average probably, well, 26 and 4 or 5 maybe. Look at that, that was a schoolboy error. But yeah, that one is really hard to get. But then again, my style of gameplay doesn't help, because I'm always running out in the open. And perhaps, you know, you've got to, I don't know, use cover, I guess. Which I'm useless at doing. So I will get a trophy eventually. But for now, it's proving a little bit elusive. Now, speaking of trophies, this may be interesting to some people. All of them are available offline. You don't have to go online to get them, because you can just get them through multiplayer with bots. And that for me is great, because as much as I do like online gaming, and I am a fan of it, you know, sometimes I just can't be bothered with the backchat and all the trash talking and the squeaky voices in the headset. I just don't want that, and all I want to do is just have fun and have it stress-free, because, you know, often playing online is very stressful. It's silly that we get stressed out about it. It's just a bloody game, but it, you know, it does cause annoyance. And by playing with the bots, computer control bots, it just makes it more relaxing. And even when you don't do particularly well, you know, you don't really find yourself ranting and raving. Although I think I did actually rant and rave when when that bot got me that time. But, yeah, no, I like it. And all the bots are available on all the different game modes as well. So whether it's Arms Race, whether it's Demolition, which is essentially a form of search and destroy from Call of Duty, or wherever the level, you can play computer-controlled players on each game type, and that's just really refreshing. And like I say, get all the trophies as well, if you're that way inclined. I mean, some people don't care about trophies or achievements. But yeah, it's just sometimes nice to be able to relax against computer-controlled players. And more games should have this, quite frankly, because not everybody wants to go online and, you know, get involved in that uber-competitive online gameplay. It's not for everyone. And, you know, in some cases it actually puts people off playing, which is a shame. I mean, there's several YouTubers, for example, I've heard them say before, you know, in theory, they do like the idea of going online and playing in a competitive way. Look, see, I'm using a knife, and it's absolute bollocks. But yeah, but they're put off because they just don't want the aggravation of going online. But the solution, obviously, two solutions. One, play with friends, you know, in like a private lobby. And the second one, just include bots, just like this game has done, just like Black Ops did, and so people can play it offline. You know, it just makes sense. I think all games should do that. But anyway, so speaking of Demolition, this is a round of Demolition, choosing it on easy bots again. And the basic premise behind this level is essentially every kill you make, you upgrade in your weapon. It's similar in, I guess, to the arms race which just happened. You know, the previous game, every kill you get a new weapon. Although the weapons aside, I guess really I should have started by saying the main objective is to defend the bomb site, you know, or plant the bomb if you're on the opposition team. So like I say, it's essentially a variation of sorts of search and destroy. Just basically plant the bomb, or defend it, defuse it, that kind of thing. And once everyone's wiped out, you win the game. So the structure of Demolition is that it's basically split into two games, like a half-time, a first half and a second half. As you can see at the top corner there, we've taken a 2-1 lead, or it's now 4-1, obviously I'm editing bits of this game in. And when that gets to 10 games, whether it's, you know, 7-3, whether it's 5-5, whether it's 9-1, when 10 games have taken place, you switch round and you control the opposite team. So, for example, now I'm controlling the good guys, essentially, and what will happen in the second half of the game is you control the terrorists, and it's your objective to plant the bomb. Whereas when you're working for the Counter-Strike team, I guess, look at this. I mean, talking about making a meal out of this. Rubbish shooting. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, that's right. When you're on the Counter-Strike team, it's kind of twofold, your objectives. The first thing you want to do, before anything, ideally, is eliminate all the terrorists. But if one of the terrorists plants the bomb, then you've got to then defuse it. So, again, I keep saying, it's just essentially search and destroy, but a nice little take on it. So when it comes to the controls of Counter-Strike, for me personally, I would say it resembles kind of Call of Duty crossed with, say, Left 4 Dead. I'd say Call of Duty in the sense that it's kind of frantic, and when you're moving around left and right, it's got that same kind of feel to it. However, I use the Left 4 Dead analogy in because there's no zooming in. And if anyone's played Left 4 Dead, as what other game did it as well? I can't think. Or maybe Aliens vs Predator on the 360 and the PS3. That did it too, or at least I couldn't figure out a way to aim or zoom in. And it's very much like that. It's almost like hip firing, and which I guess, you know, you've got to rely on your accuracy a little bit more. But it's sometimes a little bit frustrating because when you've got an enemy there and you really want to zoom in and you can't. And, oh, by the way, look at this. Little destructible environments here and there. And I like the door as well. You can blow the doors down, and that's pretty special. As I move on to the office map here. But yeah, the controls, they do take a little bit of getting used to. Like I say, because you are, technically, you're kind of hip firing, panic firing, and your bullets are prone to going everywhere, but where you want them. But I guess that just comes with practice, doesn't it? The more you get used to it, the better you get. And yeah, I mean, ultimately, practice makes perfect, as the old saying goes, but it is true. So we've moved on now to Classic Casual, and that's what you're watching now. This map is called Office, and I think it's the only map, or at least the only one that I've discovered so far, where you can rescue hostages, which is just a nice little take to it. I'm not sure if it shows any on here, we'll soon find out. But yeah, you just rescue them, untie them and lead them to safety. But ultimately, that's not the main aim of this game. You don't have to do it. It's kind of like an added bonus, if you like. Ultimately, it's still all about eradicating the terrorists. Thankfully for me, there isn't any friendly fire when it comes to classic casual mode, because I will just shoot anyone. Doesn't even matter if they're on my team or not. I just sometimes just panic, and the minute I see life and see anybody moving, I just start shooting. I mean, I've shot a few hostages, you know, with my gun-ho attitude. But I am getting better at that. But yeah, so the friendly fire is not on this game mode, which is handy, like I say. Now, I kind of said, well, not kind of said, I did say that the previous game mode, Demolition, was the best of 10 rounds. It's actually technically, I guess, the best of 20. Well, not even the best of as such. You just play 20 rounds. At halftime, you switch, like I say, from the Counter-Strike team to the terrorist team. Now, this is slightly different in the sense that it's the best of, literally, 6 rounds. Now, as you can see, we're currently 5-0 ahead. So, therefore, if we win this game, or this round, we'll go 6-0 up, and obviously we won't be able to be caught, so we would have won the game. I like how the terrorists behind me were going one way. They were following me, and then I just kind of turned round and went the other way. And they're blindfolded as well, so they haven't got a clue where they're going, and I just walk off. And then look at this guy hiding in the corner. What an idiot. Game-winning kill. We win 6-0. Like I say, it's the best of 10. And with 6 games gone and only 4 remaining, well, they clearly can't get back into the game, so we win. So we'll change the map, and this one is called Infernal. And, yeah, what you're seeing actually here is the main part, the main point, essentially, of Classic Casual. And it's the ability to buy and upgrade your weapons. This is probably the first thing I should have said about this game mode, but I didn't. But I'll say it now. So, yeah, basically, at the start of every single round, you're given approximately 45 seconds to stock up. Now, you can't just randomly just pick whatever you want. You've got to earn the money, and you earn the money by obviously killing the opposition, certain weapons, killing them, getting a certain amount of points. You know, whether you use a grenade, a flashbang, whether you get assists, you know, and help out your teammates. Whatever it is you do. Oh, check this out, by the way. So I get like 4 of them there, and I could have got the other one. Look at my clip. There's still 18 in, but I took an educated and ended up being very uneducated guess that there was hardly any left. And then he hides in the corner, and that happens. Which is kind of funny. And then I childishly teabag him. But you've got to do it, haven't you? Even if it is a computer control player who doesn't care and doesn't have any emotion at all. It's not the point. You've got to do it just to show off. But yeah, like I say, all the assists, all the kills, they all count towards ultimately unlocking new weapons. So you're only given 45 seconds at the start, and if you don't, then you can't change any weapons or anything until the next round. Now, I'm not actually 100% certain as to picking up the enemy's weapons once you've killed them, because sometimes when you hover over them, you know, the little square button for the PlayStation 3 will come up and it'll say, do you want to pick up that weapon? And other times it doesn't. And I haven't really been paying attention, so look at that. Cheeky bugger. Chucked a grenade in and he went round the other side. But yeah, I've not really been paying attention so far in regards to whether it's a certain game mode where you can pick up the enemy's weapons, or whether it's just certain enemies. I don't quite know. It's probably game mode relevant, to be honest. Good kill there. Defuse the bomb and win the game. Take a 3-0 lead any second now. So this one is called Dust. There's also another map called Dust 2, based in the same environment, but I guess maybe on the opposite side of the map. And both of them are as good as each other. 2 of my favourite maps so far that I've experienced. You do get a few. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I know for a fact, well, without knowing for a fact, but I'm taking an educated guess that this game will have more DLC. And you know what? I probably will buy it, because I'm really enjoying it. I didn't think I would, because A, I'm not a massive Counter-Strike fan, because obviously, as I touched upon at the start, I've only ever played it, and briefly, if at all, on the original Xbox. Never played it on the PC or the Mac and all the rest of it, so I was a little bit, you know, wary of what's this going to be like. And it's a downloadable game only as well, you know, there isn't a physical version of this out. I make a bit of a pig's ear of that. But get him in the end. It's pretty graphic. I don't know why I stopped to take a look there. The sight of anything like that would usually have me fainting. And I'm not even joking. So we're going to go on to a little bit of gameplay from a map called Aztec. I think I'm using the FAMAS here, I wasn't quite paying attention. Now you will notice there's not a sprint button as well, but it doesn't hold the game back. It may initially, when you first put it on, you'll be like, oh, it feels a little bit slow, but you soon get used to it. And I think they've implemented it really well. It's like a halfway house. It's kind of between sprinting and walking, or between walking and sprinting, I should say. So yeah, if they'd have put a sprint in, it would have been too fast. I think they've got the blend right. And I think I just killed everyone with that one gun, didn't I? But anyway, the only other game mode I haven't talked about is Classic Competitive. Basically, in a nutshell, it's not too dissimilar to Classic Casual, apart from the fact that friendly fire is on, team collision is on, it's the best of 30 rounds, so it's quite long and drawn out and protracted, so it may not be for you. And the only other one is, and it's a good one as well, is that, you know, when you purchase items, as I've shown you on several times, or you at least would have seen me doing it, you can buy armour and diffuse kits. And basically buying a diffuse kit will help, you know, when it comes to like the demolition modes. You can basically diffuse the bombs a lot quicker, like in half the time. So that's definitely helpful, to say the least. But I've not really played on Classic Competitive too much, just simply because it's a best of 30 rounds, and it just lasts too long. Check this out, by the way. That was almost an entire clip I unloaded into my teammate. But remember, friendly fire is off, because it's Classic Casual. So the worst that happened there is I got a bit of an earful off my teammate, but didn't kill him. So I'd better say at this point that I've not really yet strayed away from putting the bots on the easy level. And what I've found so far is that they can be a little bit stupid, but I'm sure, and maybe I should have done it before doing this gameplay, but I'm sure if you put their difficulty level up, they will become much more intelligent and react better and not tend to hang around in clusters. Although in saying that, and I think this gameplay may show it in the next kind of few minutes, but there's one part where I creep up behind 3 or 4 enemy players, I throw a grenade, it lands somewhere, you know, around them, but doesn't kill any of them. It causes a bit of damage, but didn't kill any, and I just thought, well, if that was a bomb, I mean, seriously, that should have at least killed 1 or 2. But speaking of bombs, I do chuck one and I do get this guy, and you'll see it come up in the top right-hand corner. Any second now, there we go. So I did get him. But yeah, overall, what do I think of the game? Well, graphics, I think it's alright. It's not fantastic. Remember, it is a downloadable game only, as I touched upon. So you're not going to get state-of-the-art graphics and something, you know, which looks as if it's just the latest game to come out. But it still looks very nice. It plays well. It doesn't have the zoom-in feature. So again, like I said before, think of Left 4 Dead. That same kind of control mechanism. I think the map variety is pretty good in terms of the amount of maps available and how they differentiate from each other. No complaints there. Like I say, I think there will be more maps available through DLC, and I'll probably get them, to be honest. So $15, I think it's worth it. And I do recommend it. Now, obviously, it's available for PS3 users. I've got the PS3. It's available for the 360 and PC as well. What would have been nice, and I don't think they've got this, is if they'd have included something similar to what Valve did with Portal 2. And if you bought Portal 2 on the PS3, you could download it for free for the Mac. And that would have been a nice touch. Maybe it was PC as well, I can't remember. But I haven't heard anything about the same being in place for Counter-Strike. It's not the end of the world, but that would have been a nice little addition. But maybe they may make that open in the future, who knows. So anyway, to sum it up, yes, I do think it's worth it. I've been playing it a heck of a lot. I'm enjoying this more than the likes of Call of Duty. Completely bored of that, at least for now. So $15 well spent in my eyes. See you later.